Welcome back to another Health Hackers review video. This one is my third look at Apollo, the wearable that claims to calm your mind and keep you sleeping through the night. In the interest of transparency, please know that I was gifted my Apollo along with a 1-year free Smart Vibes membership. If you see a discount shopping link in the description that goes with this video and you use it, I will receive an amount at no extra cost to you. My reviews represent good faith and honest opinion. I will be outlining what I like as well as what I don't like about Apollo based on my latest experience with this device that claims to use non-invasive touch therapy to send silent, soothing vibrations to the body that are meant to help you feel safe and in control. If you're new to the Health Hackers channel, hello, I'm Gemma. I'm a former television journalist from the UK, now a toddler mum living in California, making review videos about wellness innovations and interviewing pioneering people in health. If you enjoy this video, hit the like button or even subscribe and leave me a comment below, because my understanding is that all of that can potentially contribute to making this video more popular on YouTube. So thank you in advance. And as a reminder, anything on Health Hackers should not be considered personal or medical advice. Talk to your healthcare providers about you. Okay, so why am I giving you a third review of this device that uses gentle vibrations meant to rebalance the nervous system to make you feel calmer and over time apparently retrain the nervous system to adapt to stress more effectively so you sleep better and feel better, Apollo says. When I first reviewed the Apollo wearable back in 2020, then again after becoming a parent in 2022, I felt both times that it was hard to tell whether my life was better with Apollo than without it. Of course, there were things I liked about the device, to name a couple, those gentle, soothing vibrations and the subtly improved sleep quality score seen in my first review. However, I returned both Apollo devices back to the company after each of my review videos and continued my life without Apollo. Then a couple of years after my second Apollo review, so in 2024, where we are now, I had been experiencing some minor sleep issues around the same time that Apollo, the brand, got in touch offering me a free device plus Smart Vibes membership, which was a new feature to me, as a thank you in an email that said I had been chosen as a top affiliate. I guess that meant quite a few people had been using my affiliate link to buy their Apollos following my previous review videos. Now, I remembered how nice and gentle those Apollo vibrations had felt when I had been making my review videos, and I thought if I opt to accept a free Apollo, then I'll make a third review video, this time considering the device as my potential sleep aid, because I felt like I wanted a little something to help me relax back into sleep after waking in the night. This video isn't going to tell you about the basic setup of the device, how the buttons work, or cover some of the science and research findings behind Apollo, because that's already in my previous content. If you saw, you'll remember I also interviewed the psychiatrist and neuroscientist who co-founded Apollo, Dr. Dave Rabin. I'll link to that episode below. In this video, I'm going to jump straight into telling you what I like and what I don't like about using Apollo based on my most recent experience with it over the last 9.5 weeks. And within those points, I will touch on some of the newer features that weren't in my previous videos. And ultimately, I will tell you whether I believe Apollo has or has not become an effective sleep aid for me. So let's begin with the positives. Here is what I like. Firstly, I still like the way those relaxing vibrations feel in the evenings, especially when I get into bed at night with the Apollo around my ankle, hit the play button for the sleep mode on the app, and then feel the vibrations kick in. It just feels nice. By the way, if you're watching this video having never seen either of my previous Apollo reviews, the wearable device delivers gentle vibrations in a variety of different modes. As the brand says, higher vibrations help improve your energy and focus, while lower vibrations reduce stress and help you relax. Since my last review video, the Apollo modes now seem to be referred to as vibes, and things have become more automated with a feature called Smart Vibes, which is Apollo's new membership. It's supposed to learn what your body needs more of and personalize the vibes that play through your Apollo. The website says Smart Vibes change as you change. So my like here is that it sounds like clever technology. I asked my contact at Apollo, when daytime and evening Smart Vibes say they learn about your health and adapt to you, what data are they learning from? Because I was trying to understand how Apollo custom makes vibes for my evenings and daytime use. Within the couple of emails that I got in response, I was told that Smart Vibes' self-learning algorithm uses members' sleep data, daily feedback from the feeling log, the Aura Ring integration, and info about manually played or manually scheduled vibes. By the way, I don't have an Aura Ring, but if you do, it seems your Aura Ring data will contribute to making a personalized schedule of vibes for you. But here's another smart claim that impressed me. I was also told in one of those emails that Apollo has a small accelerometer that detects movement, which is how we stop vibes from playing if it's off your body. When Smart Vibes for Sleep is on, the algorithm learns your small, normal sleep movements and the movements that mean you're waking up. It automatically plays vibes to help you stay asleep and takes into account if you've had a restless or short night of sleep when playing daytime vibes. It also uses the sleep survey responses both to determine daytime vibes and to customize Smart Vibes for Sleep. Now, I do have a couple of dislikes that relate to that sleep survey and the accelerometer detection that I'll come onto once I've wrapped up my likes. Stay with me. But that stay asleep Smart Vibes feature that's supposed to sense when I start to stir in the night and then respond by playing vibrations to help me stay asleep, that is a definite like from me. Next, I like that according to an estimation on the app, I've had an extra 23 hours and 46 minutes of sleep from wearing Apollo over the last 9.5 weeks. With Smart Vibes, the app shows me an estimation each day of how many minutes of extra sleep I had the night before based on, it says, my sleep data, how often I play vibes during the day and night, and how consistently I wear my Apollo. So of course, I love the idea that I've had all this extra sleep, even though I have no proof of that, and I question the validity of the estimation, which I will also come onto in my dislikes. Next, I have noticed waking up at around 5:45 in the mornings, even when my Apollo wake-up time wasn't set until 7 a.m. I don't think this has happened every single morning, but enough times to have noticed a pattern. It's made me wonder if I'm getting an increased quality of sleep and therefore not sleeping for as long. Next, there was a night that I had added to my notes for this review video when I didn't wear Apollo to bed and I didn't miss it. That isn't the like is coming. The next time I forgot to bring it into my bedroom, I went back to another room to get it because I didn't want to go to sleep without it. I think it's because I like believing that those vibrations are supposed to be helping me to sleep and benefit my nervous system. Apollo's website says that using the device consistently helps to retrain your nervous system so you can manage stress more effectively on your own, and that it works by apparently activating the same neural pathways as breathing, meditation, and soothing touch, they say. The brand suggests the more you use it, the better the benefits get. Reminding myself of that as I put together what I wanted to tell you in this video does add to my motivation to wear it, at least at nighttime. Next, there are some additional vibes that I don't remember seeing in my previous Apollo reviews, like joy, love, and power nap. There's also a Discover tab where you can find preset intensities and durations of vibes supposedly designed to suit what you're doing or feeling in that moment. For example, if you're partying, praying, or public speaking, or feeling burnt out, compulsive, or lazy. My final likes are less detailed. The device is easy to set up. I can operate Apollo while my phone is in airplane mode. I don't seem to burn through the battery life so quickly now that I let Smart Vibes do its thing and play vibes at the durations and intensities it thinks I need, instead of me manually selecting vibes repeatedly. Lastly, Apollo is non-invasive. The vibrations are meant to act as positive safety signals. When I interviewed the psychiatrist and neuroscientist who co-founded Apollo, Dr. Dave Rabin, in my first review 4 years ago, he compared Apollo's frequencies to music. He told me, it's music composed for the skin. Here's a clip.
Then we go into the more calming frequencies, which are meditation and mindfulness, and then relax and unwind, and then sleep. And those are kind of as described. And the way that these work is they're basically, if you think about music we hear changes the way we feel and it changes our energy. Fast, loud music makes us more energized. Calm, soothing music makes us more calm. This is basically music that I composed based on the neuroscience of the way these frequencies affect the body, but they're just sound waves at a very low frequency that we feel through the skin. So it's music composed for the skin rather than for the ears. And that helps, sort of nudge us into these different energy states and make transitioning more simple.
All right, so we've covered my likes and now we're moving on to the aspects I didn't like. Firstly, the accuracy of the sleep monitoring. There were nights when I remember being awake at times, but the snapshot on the app showing how I had slept would suggest I hadn't spent any time awake. There were also nights when it did look like the data was probably accurate. Next, in those emails from Apollo that I mentioned earlier, where I was told Apollo has a small accelerometer that detects movement, which is how we stop vibes from playing if it's off your body. Well, I have definitely heard my Apollo playing when it was off my body. One time I'd left it on a shelf and was trying to figure out what on earth the noise was. The reverberating sounds of the vibrations were significant and consistent. Also, that bit I mentioned about Apollo using the sleep survey responses to determine daytime vibes and to customize smart vibes for sleep. I wasn't always able to complete that sleep survey. It's just one question that asks how rested do you feel, and I can select an appropriate emoji response. But there were times when I'd go to answer by tapping on the question and it wouldn't open. I did submit that feedback to Apollo via the app. I also wondered if it was because I was sometimes trying to complete it in the evenings as opposed to the mornings. Admittedly though, quite often I would forget to open up the app and answer the sleep survey question, or I just didn't see it as an important task to do. Next, I felt like I didn't always understand Smart Vibes, how it was creating custom daytime or nighttime vibes for me. This has become clearer since the email exchange I mentioned to you, in which I specifically asked my contact at Apollo when daytime and evening Smart Vibes say they learn about your health and adapt to you, what data are they learning from? Perhaps I could have done more reading up on it from the website beforehand, but what might have benefited me from the start is if the app had a Learn tab where people who like to learn more can learn more about how exactly Smart Vibes is learning about your health and adapting to you. Maybe reinforcing that knowledge would have encouraged me to attempt to complete the sleep survey question more often. Who knows? Another aspect I have found a little unclear is the Apollo benefits score. When I hit the U section of the app, it shows me an infographic comprising calm, sleep, focus, and then what looks like an overall benefits score. It says my score is a benchmark guiding you to get the most out of your Apollo, but I don't fully understand. Does my seemingly high score of 9.8 that you can see there mean that my Apollo's been playing those vibes a lot? So then what about the other vibes like energy, social, recover? Or does my high score mean that I am, or should be, feeling calm, focused, and sleeping well? And if my score wasn't that high, would that mean I should be playing those 3 specific vibes more? Next, Apollo's website says it can take up to 30 days of regular use to realize consistent changes in how you feel. I've been using it regularly for more than 9 weeks. I haven't always worn my Apollo for the recommended minimum of 90 minutes during the day, even though I have worn it all night, most nights. I wondered if Apollo has made me feel more chilled out in the daytime, if it's helped me to fall back to sleep in the night, but I can't tell with any certainty. One night when I didn't wear it to bed, according to my notes, I slept well without it. I didn't miss it. Despite that, and as I told you earlier, I didn't want to go to sleep without it again, and I do think that's because I am believing that the vibrations are supposed to be helping me to sleep and are benefiting my nervous system. Next, when I started using it more than 9 weeks ago, I didn't like swapping between the wristband for daytime and then the ankle band for nighttime, so decided to stick with one size throughout. The ankle band was too big for my wrist, so I ended up using the wristband for both my wrist and ankle. I do find the device a bit bulky on my wrist. I said this in my last review 2 years ago as well. I don't particularly love wearing it during the day when I'm out and about with my toddler. It can be bothersome when it's on my wrist and I'm carrying and cuddling my daughter, or it can catch on the strap of our diaper bag backpack. And when it's not playing a vibe, it feels like I'm just wearing a wristband for nothing. In general, though, I don't enjoy wearing anything on my wrists. I wear Apollo on my ankle at nighttime, and even then there have been occasional times where it felt a little uncomfortable. Now, I'm not blaming Apollo for what I'm about to tell you, but I think it's worth mentioning in case anyone else out there watching this has experienced something similar. I'd be keen to hear. So I had been wearing my Apollo on my right ankle and started getting a funny feeling in my right big toe, a sensation under my toe pad. So I swapped and started wearing it on my left ankle. Separately, and I'm not sure how many weeks later it was, but I was wearing it back on my right ankle again, and one morning I developed some discomfort in that ankle, which became worse after a fair bit of walking on it. By lunchtime that day, I was icing my ankle because of the discomfort. I don't know what caused it, and I'm not accusing Apollo. However, I did wonder if maybe I had slept with my ankle resting awkwardly with Apollo around it. I don't know. The good news is my ankle recovered. Apollo also comes with a clip that can be used instead of a wrist or ankle band. The clip launched while I was making my second Apollo review video 2 years ago. It's so you can clip it onto clothing. The company recommends placing it near to a bone. I've not used the clip so far. I considered wearing it on a bra strap, but wasn't entirely comfortable about the idea of having the device so close to my heart and other organs. Apollo's website mentions EMF exposure, explaining that you can turn on airplane mode in the app, which it says will disable the device's antenna from communicating. It also says when airplane mode is off and the app is actively in use, Apollo only emits very low levels of EMF as the mobile app and device are communicating via Bluetooth. Okay, so that's it for my likes and dislikes. I said I would tell you whether I believe Apollo has or has not become an effective sleep aid for me. According to the Apollo app, I've had 23 hours and 46 minutes of extra sleep since I've been wearing it. 4 years ago, when I first reviewed Apollo, I tracked my sleep and saw a 4.6% improvement in my sleep quality score average with Apollo. I feel encouraged by the research findings that you can see displayed on Apollo's website, showing user trends such as an increase in deep sleep by up to 19%, up to 14% increase in REM sleep, and getting up to 30 minutes of more sleep each night. Now, I can't prove that Apollo has made a difference to my sleep. I stopped tracking my sleep after I had a baby. This review, as you may have gathered by now, is about my user experience. What I can say is that I like believing that Apollo's gentle vibrations are nudging me into a more relaxed state, just like Dr. Rabin's music composed for the skin analogy he told me about in our interview. So in that sense, maybe Apollo has become an effective sleep aid for me for now. In my last Apollo review video 2 years ago, when I trialed it for nearly 8 weeks, I asked, has this wearable been helping me stay calm in my new life as a mum? My answer ended up being maybe. In my first review of Apollo 4 years ago, I tried it for a couple of weeks. I said it was hard to tell whether my life was better with it than without it. I stood by that conclusion in my second video too, and here we are in my third video, and I maintain that it is hard to tell whether my life is better with Apollo than without it. And this is where I want to talk about cost briefly. At the time of recording, Apollo is on sale, but I can see the standard price is $349. That's what it cost back when I first reviewed it 4 years ago. Interestingly, 2 years later, at the time of recording my second review, Apollo's price was higher at $399. Now it appears to be back at $349, or even less during the current sale that I can see online. Based on my experiences with Apollo, I wouldn't consider $349 to be a worthwhile investment for me personally. Some people clearly love the device though, just look at the reviews on the website. Now, if I factor in the cost of the Smart Vibes membership, which isn't compulsory, you don't have to get it, but I have talked about it in this video. That's currently marked as $199.99 per year, or $16.67 per month. So a full price Apollo and 1 year of Smart Vibes would cost around $550. Apollo explains on its website that customers have 30 days from the date of delivery to request a full refund excluding shipping. This appears to be a decent time frame given the brand says it can take up to 30 days of regular use to realize consistent changes in how you feel. Interestingly, in my interview with co-founder Dr. Dave Rabin, he suggested he had seen people gain improved performance and improved heart rate variability within as little as 3 minutes. He explained that when it comes to considering how quickly the effects from wearing Apollo come on, it's really about how quickly you notice the effect, he told me, which can vary widely as some people are more sensitive to touch and more body aware than others. So that is it for my third and I suspect final review of the Apollo wearable. Have you bought one? Has it made a difference to your sleep? What do you think of Smart Vibes? Let me know. And bye-bye for now.